Okay. Today we get a job. What will be that job? Now Dell Latitude. We get Dell Latitude for fixer. What will be the problem for that Dell? The customer say no, they come on. Today we get a Dell Latitude for fix. And what is the problem for that Dell? They say no, they come on. So we open, we go test, and we go diagnose, and then we go fix. Make we start, make we see what will be the problem for the patient. Take out from the plastic, then we test it, and then we fix it. Make we start. Wow. A nice machine. Dell Inspiron 17 Core i7. Not the start, no light, nothing. We could put charger, see whether now what will be the problem. Maybe not just charging, and no. We could put charger, see whether now you will make it go come on. This charger normally volt is 19.5 volt. You get light. This light shows the voltage there here. So we go take and test them. Connector. The light still there. Light not trip this time. Don't connect the charger. Light not trip this time. And put them on. No light, no they here. No light, no they here. Nothing to nothing. The press, nothing will happen. So we'll open this laptop now. We'll go diagnose them, and we'll go fix them. We'll go get busy. We'll go check whether our charger get voltage. We'll check with multimeter here first before we proceed. We'll check with multimeter here before we proceed. We'll put a multimeter for voltage mode for DC. We get 19 volt. Wow, 19 volt. I hope say camera go come away, cause that thing far. We get 19 volt. But when we put the 19 volt, machine not come on. Make we open, see what will be the problem, and then we fix it. Hope say no go be na helele matter. Oh, it makes some noise inside. It makes some noise inside, like grrr. It make noise inside there. We see which one is from. Look at me what did they call them? Not get GoPro. So I use this other camera for close-up shots. So I use this camera for close-up shots. Then I use the other camera for full shots. So for close-up, now this one, we don't remove the screws. Now we'll do the disassembly. This na hard drive. This don't know how many gig be this. We go check see. This one hard drive. This one the batteries. We remove the batteries. When I use one hand, as I use whole camera, do close up. You need to do well. So the long shot we will do from here, so that make it work perfectly. $1,000 gig. And the batteries be that. So we'll remove all these screws then. The machine even get all screws. This is somebody done first. Move some screws and I don't understand. Okay. Don't finish disassemble all thing. The hard drive on that side. Now on the machine, this on the inside that. So check things and what go wrong. We will fix. We can connect the charger again. Connect the charger again. See what thing they happen. So we'll connect charger here. Some noise in the inside. I don't know why. So ground, if we take ground anywhere. So we'll put one terminal for ground. And then the other terminal we will take and trace voltage. That 19 volt will be get from the charger. We're supposed to get here again. Oh, not the reach. Okay, the reach. And 19 volt be that. So after here we'll get a fuse. After the fuse we'll get a MOSFET. So we will check that MOSFET. See, this one a diode. Okay, 19 volt we get. And then after the MOSFET, 19 volt. Oh, this one has now zona diode with this. MOSFET this. 19 volt there here. And then we'll cross the MOSFET. So you get all these four terminals together. We'll cross it, voltage across. Voltage it cross again, the 19 volt. Okay, now we'll cross to see where the circulation of voltage supposed to here. Not 19 volt it day. This type of problem is hard. Why? Because 19 volt there for both, but the machine not the work. So see here, nothing. Here for capacitors, nothing. Okay, but some noise you had a grrrr inside. If you listen carefully, that's not get microphone for hearing. That noise, but the machine still not the work. All those voltage and there. Voltage don't they, so they outside the MOSFET. 19 volt, you see, 19 volt there after the MOSFET, but still the machine not come on. right, nothing to nothing. As I do close up with this camera, I will put the camera down so that I will disassemble this motherboard, check the things and foresee where the problem really is. Okay, don't take out the charger. Now we'll take down this motherboard. This is the Wi-Fi card. This is the hard drive connector. This Raven. This the speakers. So much, but maybe we could just test components from here to see if we see a problem here before we proceed, because now step by step diagnostic, you see. So we could put our multimeter for diode mode here, and diode mode that when we put for diode mode we go here peep like that. That mode now for check shorts. Before disassemble machine, we could check see if we see a short somewhere. We could just check random checking first. Many ways there for fix machine. I did fix without schematics. And without schematics means I get for just go where I suspect a problem fit there. And when I hear this noise with like grrr, like that, according to me now maybe power supply. So like I check power supply. See? Power supply like this thing is also. Each power supply like this thing. Power supply like this thing, capacitor and this thing. So I will check around this capacitor and so this one for see whether I will see any where it don't die, where it is short. You see? So make a check around the capacitor for see if I see any where it is short. Whoa, we get short for day 02.2. These capacitors in the short, but if you been at them, if you not been at them, we go check other capacitors see. Wow. All capacitors in the short. The reason all capacitors in fit is short, now see wait. This diagram, this machine there like this. Machine, if I explain some more, we're gonna see as machine there. We get AC, then we get DC, we get this AC here. When you want enter here, it will come through diode. Okay, here the positive, here the negative, and then here the AC, and then here the AC again, AC, we got this DC here, then we get capacitor here, then we get input. Then from this input now we get different voltage that will be distributed. Where from the same positive we will get maybe a 3.3 volt. From the same positive we will get maybe a 5.5 volt or 5 volt line. We will go for the power supply, 5 volt power supply. And then from the same one you will get maybe the 1.3 for for memory and so forth. So this negative and all this one they enter a power supply. You go to a power supply. Where that power supply too go need forget a capacitor. We go to a power supply this one I own power supply this one I own power supply this, and all the power supply go get small 8 also on the other side. They go get 8, then go get 8. So if this power was supposed to go here, if this power is supposed to go here, you don't go here, you don't go reach, then capacitor was supposed to enter there. If this capacitor be shorted, because I add that, if this capacitor be shorted, it will show say this other capacitor too for here. It will show say this capacitor too it will be shorted. It will show say this other one here too for here. It will be shorted. So it means say if one of these capacitor die, even this one will be short. But if you don't get a particular something to take test for see whether which one they heat up, like power supply and stuff, what you could do for this scenario, we'll get only multimeter and hot air. Now for you take these capacitors and one by one test them until you will see the capacitor where it get problem. If it take long, but definitely you could test and so if it still be a MOSFET, because even this MOSFET, so even this cheap MOSFET, if this MOSFET, one of these cheap power supply, this MOSFET die, if it still do those things, so we will test capacitor. Now the reason that we're here, we'll hear peep, then here we will still hear peep, then here we still hear. But no means all these capacitors so don't die. So we'll try to check them one by one. If we remove the first one and lucky enough, maybe the problem. As if we remove the first one, but luck for we'll get to proceed. So we could try here, see, we could remove them one by one. I will just start from the side, from this side, from which way I will start for this capacitor, this one way near me. Then I will remove, I will go forward to this one, then I'll go down to this one and this one. We can try that, and then we'll see where the problem is. Hot air on, hot air on. We will use tweezer. We will use this tweezer to take those capacitors out one by one. Test them. We will go busy. Make we get busy. Tweezer, tweezer, tweezer. Hot air, hot air, hot air. I hope say the first capacitor we will remove will be the problem, so that it will save us time for not the work too much. So here a positive, I forget to write like that, here a negative. This negative always be attached to the ground. So all this here we see here na negative. But with these different power supplies, you get all the negative, we go for all of them, and then they'll get a filter. So we will start here with this capacitor C. I need it hot. don't remove the first 3 capacitors. We will test and see whether any of them get problem or all of them they fine. If any of them get problem, then we need to replace them, and then the machine will surely work. But as we don't remove it, we could test the machine, see whether if get that PP where they short like that. We could test the line, see if PP don't stop, let me see the problem there among these capacitors. We could try and see. We could try the PP see. No get PP again. PP don't stop. Let me say one of these things get problem. This one don't die. This one. Yeah, this one get problem. So we'll put back these 2 and hopefully the machine will work. Yeah, that PP will be made for board. Don't finish. We'll get lucky, otherwise we'll remove like 10 capacitors. So go see the right one. So we will take out motherboard for space. We will replace this one, don't die. We will replace these 2. We will put back these 2, then just replace 1. Then the machine will work. Come on, one day. Don't put that one. We'll add this one. PP don't finish. As long as PP don't finish, guarantee this so that machine will work. We will test and see. I'll even take out the motherboard. Lucky me. Just walk around here. Everything made in China these days. So now this capacitor be the problem. We could test them now, see if the machine they fine. Wow, we get like this positiveness. We get light here. I don't see light here. You can see. You see light here before. Yeah, light the. We could test everything first, see if everything there all right. I need to put some CMOS battery. If that video don't inspire you, like our channel, subscribe for daily content of electronics. As you see, it's not just one capacitor like this. Keep machine like this down with the almost trying for dustbin. Like our channel, follow our channel, get daily content of electronics. One love. Mba Atabong. Moya yim tungon bindia. Yim tungon bindia kan yim pita laptop the whole Johannesburg, the whole Africa. We the baddest team now, we be the Kong Tao.